Hey guys, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and I saw a thread going around from Rod, the happy hippie guy, and I thought this sounds like a really fun thing to do. The thread is about 10 artists that you've seen live and that you have a vinyl record for. So I called my collection and grabbed 10 artists that I really wanted to show that I've seen live. So let's go ahead and get to it. I want to start by showing the first concert I ever went to. And I've mentioned it before in other videos, but this would have been 1989, and this is the first show. I would have been 11 years old at the time. My dad got tickets because he knew I was such a big fan, even though he was not a big fan of this artist, and that is Michael Jackson. I did get to see him on the Bad tour, so I am very fortunate to have been able to see him perform live because, my goodness, it was amazing. And at 11 years old, I was a super fan, still am, of this guy, and it blew my mind. It was the first concert, like I said, I ever went to, and how do you follow that? So good luck to everyone else I go see. You can't follow this. Michael Jackson Bad first concert. The next one I want to show you is a recent concert I went to, and I've seen this artist a couple times now, at least 3, and this is a new album. She had kind of taken a hiatus from music as far as releasing anything and touring goes for a long time. She had a child, and then just had some musical differences with her record company and things like that. And so she released this album a couple years ago, and the wife and I went and saw her live, and it was fantastic. This is Michelle Branch. This is the Hopeless Romantic, and it was a really fun concert, very intimate. She played a small venue, which is the same as I saw her other times too, at small venues playing. And we got nice seated tables on the upper balcony, and so we were looking right down at the band as they played. Fantastic show. Really enjoyed it. She had Patrick Kearney, who's her husband now, Black Keys drummer, was with her as part of the band. So it was real fun. Great artist. If you're not familiar, she did the song Everything back in early 2000s, and it was a real big hit for her. But her whole catalog is absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't heard of Michelle Branch, she has a very pop singer-songwriter style to her with a little rock infused and things like that. Fantastic. Check her out. Great artist. This is a fantastic album. It's a very poppy album compared to some of the other stuff she did, but really good stuff too. The next artist I want to show you, I've seen them three times, I want to say, live. And this was for their final tour, quote-unquote final tour. This is Black Sabbath. The 13 album came out, and they did the End tour, or whatever they called it then. And I was fortunate enough to get tickets to go see this live. It was a great show. Ozzy's definitely showing his age. His vocal range isn't what it used to, but he puts on a hell of a show. Tony Iommi is amazing. I've also seen these guys live at Ozfest, I think twice. The original Ozfest, I want to say in 98, that came around, played in the Metrodome, and got to see Ozzy, and then Black Sabbath as well. Really fun. And I think another year Sabbath was on the Ozfest tour again. So I think I've seen them 3 times now. Fantastic shows. Great band, really good. I also saw Black Sabbath with Ronnie James Dio. They were called Heaven and Hell at the time because Ozzy wouldn't let them use, or Sharon, I should say, wouldn't let them use Black Sabbath name. So Heaven and Hell tour, that was fun as well. This next artist is a favorite of mine, and I somehow managed to get tickets to see him on what was supposed to be his final tour as well. Obviously, he went on for many more years to tour and record albums, but this is Eric Clapton, and I want to say I saw him in the early 2000s, maybe around 2003 or so. I can't recall exactly when, but absolutely phenomenal show. Just great artist live. One of my favorites to listen to as well. So Eric Clapton. And this next band I've seen multiple times. The first time I saw them was in '92. They were touring, and they came to the state fair and played. It was the Adrenalize record at the time, but then I've seen them, of course, probably 3 or 4 times in the last 6 years as well. They seem to always be touring with bands I really want to see, and so I get to see them multiple times. These guys in Tesla seem to tour together a lot with really good artists. So Def Leppard, and this is their a self-titled album that came out just a few years ago, and I think it's really good. I know a lot of people aren't happy with some of the production on here, but I think it sounds great. So this next artist was an artist that I was really excited to go see. Never got to see in her heyday, but then after many years of another artist with many years of hiatus, she released a brand new record, came on tour, played all the hits before the record came out, and the wife and I went and saw that. It's Shania Twain. This is her latest record called Now. It's a really good record, and we got to see the tour right before this came out, so she was playing all of her hits. It was her first time in years because she had some vocal issues. Then she did, I believe, a Vegas thing and worked those out, and then decided to go on tour for the fans. So that was real fun. Great show, amazing artist, real fun. So Shania Twain was a good one. All right, and if you know me, you know I like this artist a lot. She's a mixed bag for a lot of people. I've loved her since the very beginning. She kind of helped me become interested in songwriting again and all that. This is Taylor Swift's 1989, and years of being a fan, never was able to see her live. Finally pulled the trigger, got tickets to this show, and it was absolutely great. Really enjoyed it. I wish I could have seen her before she went pop too, because she kind of tends to now play the whole record that she released and then sprinkles in a couple songs here and there. I would have loved to have gone on, say, the Red Tour or the Speak Now Tour to see her play a lot more of the older hits. But really fun tour, great show. She's an amazing performer live, and this was real good. All right, the next one I want to show you is a concert I went to in 1993, and when I saw them perform live, this quickly became my favorite, and to this day is my favorite record by them. And they were touring with Damn Yankees and Firehouse at the time, which was an absolutely amazing show. I'm talking about Poison and the Native Tongue Tour. This is when CeCe was no longer in the band. He was removed from the band, and Richie Kotzen was now the guitar player. So I got tickets. I don't even remember how I got tickets or any of that jazz, but I got tickets, saw this show. It was absolutely fantastic, and I've seen Poison in concert many times now. So that was 93. I saw them again in 99 when they were back together with CeCe for the first time. I saw them again after that, probably 2 more times at least. I've seen Bret Michaels solo, which is also fantastic. I've seen him twice solo, and so real good. One of my favorite artists, Poison. This next one, every time they would come to tour, this is my favorite band today that's going around, still making albums and touring constantly. And every time they would come to tour, my band or my duo would be playing a show the exact same night. We would be booked for that same night that they were here. So I missed them constantly. Well, the band split and the duo was on kind of a hiatus, and they had announced a concert, and so now I finally was able to see them. I took my son to see these guys at the zoo, and it was amazing. And then, of course, just recently, this past spring, I took my wife to see them at an acoustic show, and it was absolutely awesome. I'm talking about Blackberry Smoke. These guys, if you love Southern rock or country rock, this is amazing band. This is my favorite band that is current today, and just I can't say enough about how good these guys are. So this is their most recent album called Find a Light, and they toured behind this when I went and saw them, and it was just awesome, just absolutely awesome. So Blackberry Smoke. And last but certainly not least, as I mentioned in my Spotlight series, this is my favorite band of all time, and I was never able to see them perform live. Many years, many tours missed, everything. It just never worked out. And finally, when they released this album in 2008, I said to my buddy, who's a massive ACDC fan, I said, get tickets, I'll pay you, I just need to see this band. And of course, we got tickets, and we didn't sit together the first show. The second show that we saw with them, we did, but this was a bucket list item for me, and I was so excited that I finally got to see ACDC live on the Black Ice tour. And man, it was great, and a blessing too, because this was also the final tour for Malcolm Young before he had to quit the band due to health reasons, and unfortunately now has passed on. But what a show, bucket list item, probably my favorite concert ever. It had so much emotion for me to finally see these guys live. And even though I'd seen their live videos and everything else, it's just nothing beats actually seeing the concert in person. It was unbelievable. And I was lucky enough to catch them again on the Rock or Bust tour right before Brian Johnson had to pull out of the tour. I got to see one of his final shows up in Fargo, which was great. So yeah, just awesome. That's it. So that's 10 artists that I've pulled out records for that I have seen in concert. And there's so many more. I love concerts. I don't get to enough of them these days. I went to a lot of them back in the day. I could have pulled out some Motley Crue. I could have pulled out Leanne Rimes. Man, there's a lot of concerts I've been to. I have recently started collecting my ticket stubs and framing them. So I do have framed ticket stubs in various orders. I also have a few ticket stubs that I saved over the years somehow, and those are framed in there too. I wish I had all the ticket stubs of the shows I went to, but sadly not to be. So I think it's kind of cool. It makes really neat artwork if you just take your ticket stub and put it in. And even today you can purchase your tickets online and then go to the site that you purchased from, and they'll give you a picture copy of the ticket. So I was able to print off some of those as well. So very cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. This is a really cool thread. Thank you, Rod at Happy Hippie Guy, for making a video of this and kind of inspiring me to do this. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the subscribe button below. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. What are some of the concerts that you went to? Did you see any of the ones I went to? They're all fantastic. So, all right, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.